Hey folks, Keough here with what's going to amount to a longer video for you, because this encompasses two recent training sessions, both squat sessions. One is a reverse band box squat session and the other one is a back squat session, and I'll start with the reverse band box squat session from a couple of days ago, and a piece of useful information regarding reverse bands. I am using mini bands for my reverse bands. They take off about 35 pounds at bottom and not really much of anything at the top. So a little bit, actually a little bit less than 10% of what I'll be working with for my top set today, but or on this session rather. But an interesting fact about reverse bands is if you're having any sort of bar tracking issues, if one side is being favored in any way, either on a vertical or a horizontal plane, the reverse bands actually will help put you in the groove. And as you can see there, I started when I unracked that weight and I walked it out. I started with my torso turned such that my right side was sort of in front of my left side, and it's something that I've had an issue with over the last few weeks, and it's looked a lot worse than this. But I think really focusing on trying to fix it while using the reverse bands, which will encourage again an even bar path, so that one side isn't sticking out, one side isn't coming down further than the other. I think that's really helped me actually, and on this session I really just tried to make sure my bar path was what I wanted it to be, was nice and even and not asymmetrical at all, and I was pretty successful in being able to do that. I'm making a very strong effort to try and correct what I've diagnosed as being a weakness with what my bar's been doing, and I've been working really hard the last couple of weeks on trying to fix it. Top set was 375, did it for a set of 5. Felt hard, felt heavy, reps moved slow. Wasn't the best set ever, but it's 375 for a set of 5 with just reverse mini bands off of a pass parallel box. So I'm pretty happy with those numbers. The numbers are good. It just didn't feel fantastic. And I did start to come forward. I did start to good morning the weight at the end, but that's what I resort to when I start to fatigue. After that, I did a bunch of rep work, a bunch of volume work, which I didn't show you here. I did like 275 for sets of 8, just trying to drive with my heels to the floor and maintain a more vertical torso position on those. And so this is my footage from today, in which I did 365 for 5 sets of 5. I really bumped the weight up. I bumped it up 15 pounds from last week because I felt pretty good warming up the session, and I decided, what the heck, I try to really push the exertion because I'm not doing the number bar lifts that I was doing when I was on Smolov. And I ultimately was really happy with how this training session went. I purposely slowed down my eccentric a lot for this training session, and that was just to try and get my bar path correct. Okay, I really wanted to focus on keeping that right side back, not letting it come forward, not letting that right side dip. Usually what happens is on my eccentric, my right side comes forward, so I turn my torso, and as I'm doing that, I let that right side dip. And I'm trying really hard not to do either of those, and I was pretty successful in, I think, fixing that for this session. And yes, the slow eccentric makes it much harder to take advantage of a stretch reflex off the bottom. But after the first rep, I start getting a little more comfortable with it, so I start descending a little bit faster. And I do now have the issue of overcorrecting. I was told that I was overcorrecting a little bit on a few of these reps, which basically means that my right side is now a little bit too far back. So that's something I'll keep an eye on, but an overcorrection, in my opinion, at least means that I'm making an honest attempt to fix an issue. And I'm glad I could easily go in through this training, and I could just continue to do what I'm doing and continue to spot with my bar looking the way it looks, and I would probably make it out okay doing my squats that way, but I have to take always an honest look at my training, and I have to constantly try and fix the things that really need fixing. And as I've said in a few videos recently, it is very easy to lie to yourself about how things are going in training, and very difficult to be completely objective and honest with yourself. And this the work that I've done over the last couple of weeks to correct my bar path for my squat has been one instance in which I've had to really be honest with myself, and really even take my squat down a little bit in order to just make sure the bar path is what I want it to be. But this felt great. These sets felt great. 365 for a set of 5 is not the easiest set in the world. My best max set with it is a set of 8, and these really just flew up. I didn't feel like I was close to failing any of them, and I really didn't break technique much at all. I came up fast. I came up really strong out of the hole, which I was pleased with. Again, I didn't make a lot of the technical mistakes that I usually make once I get up into this intensity range. So I have done a good job, I feel like, planning my squat out and rebuilding my squat over time, coming off of my last meet. I think that everything now is really starting to come together for me. You're seeing me hit some big deadlifts, some big pause benches, and now I'm really starting to feel good with my squat, and I'm going to start increasing the intensity and doing some higher intensity squatting. 7 weeks out from this UPA meet, I'm really looking forward to it. Goal is to break 1355, and I'm reminding myself of that all the time, because now is the time in my training cycle in which things are going well, and I start to crunch numbers and I start to think about 1400 again. But I am keeping myself honest with the goals that I originally set out for myself, and keeping myself mindful of those goals. And that original goal is to break 1355. So that's a baseline goal. I do think I can break 1400 at this meet, but that for me is just going to be gravy. So keep checking in. More videos soon.